Training late?
Huh?
Training late?
Training late because I'm globetrotting again tomorrow.
What are you off to?
I'm having some baddie time with the kids. That's what I'm doing. We're off to Barcelona. And we're going to go to theme park while we're over there. And we're just going to have a long weekend. Because, as you well know, Josh, I've been working my ass off recently. And I haven't got to spend that much time. Well, I haven't managed to spend as much time as what I would want to do. So, which, really, I'm not the only one that's in that boat. There's many of you out there, you know, that you don't get to spend as much time with your kids as what you want to, or what's really ideal. But I shouldn't really blame ourselves for it. End of the day, we do what we do for the kids, and it's to give them a better life. I'm very fortunate though. My kids, even at the age that they are, well, especially more so Aaliyah, they understand it. So I'm quite lucky in that aspect. So I'm trying to get an arm session in. I've trained twice this week. Well, once. This is my second session.
I don't know why I didn't train with you.
Why didn't you train with me?
I don't know.
You've given up. Look at everybody. Look, Josh is here.
No, I don't want to.
Look at this. Oh, wow.
Listen, I'm back on it. So
back on what? What you on?
Training.
Crack?
No.
what you on? Josh has been in his own little bubble for the last week. Okay. How to build impressive arms. In order to build impressive arms, you need to concentrate on two factors. One, stretching the fascia of the whole muscle belly. And two, isolating the peak. So, you have your bicep, and then you have your peak. Yeah? The peak is like, well, self-explanatory, right? It's the peak of the muscle. It's there. What is that?
What?
It was a spider. I like spiders.
Neither do I.
So there's two main factors to keep in mind when trying to build impressive biceps. So what I try to do is mix it up all in one exercise. So a fixed machine like this, a standard arm curl machine, will have different grips. Okay. So, but just because it's in a fixed position doesn't necessarily mean you can only use it in that set position. You've got a range of different grips, but you can also adjust the rep range too. You can make it as hard or as easy as you want. You can isolate the muscle, you can do time under tension, you can do reps with momentum, you can take the momentum out of the reps. It all depends how strict you want to be, what your mindset is that day, how much time you have, and what really you're in the mood for, I suppose. But you can superset different grips. You don't just have to. A superset isn't just supersetting different exercises. It's supersetting different movements and different types of reps as well. So you can do supersets just on one machine. If you're in a gym, let's say one of them, you know, them budget gyms where they're just packed. You know, there's people on every machine. You end up waiting, you know, just to use something simple. You don't have to wait. You don't have to put your workout on hold. You can stick to one machine and you can just do different variations of it and try and well, exhaust the muscle as much as you possibly can. You're still going to get a great workout. So to give you an idea on how to stretch the fascia around the muscle belly and how we're going to train for thickness of the bicep, and then we're going to isolate the peak. Now on the flat grip there, I'm going to concentrate on the stretch. So I'm not going to cheat and only come down to here. I'm going to come all the way down and let my bicep have a full stretch. Now if you notice, I'm not squeezing at the top. I'm doing that shit intentionally. I'm concentrating more on the stretch. The only way your muscle is going to get bigger is by stretching the fuck out of it. Once you've done that, then what we do is we try and fit as much blood into that area that we've just stretched as possible. So now what we're going to do is go into thumbless grip. Whenever you're concentrating on training your peak, always do thumbless. You will always put more tension on the muscle. And now I'm going to do partials at the top. There. But they're not rushed. They're still controlled. Ah. 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 Do 3 to 4 sets of that. You'll get a burn like you've never felt before. If you pretend that you've got a fixed bar in your hand, close your fist up and just come up and squeeze the muscle, squeeze the muscle, squeeze the muscle. Now put your fingers on the peak of your bicep. Pretend now you're holding a thumbless grip. Now can you see that as I'm doing that? Can you see that tiny movement?
Yeah.
What that's doing is that's contracting the muscle that little bit extra, yeah? Just from a thumbless grip and just from a twist of the wrist. So whereas you'll normally just come up there, contract the muscle and come back down, we're coming up there, and then with a thumbless grip, see that? You're giving it that extra contraction. It's only by a couple of mil, but that makes all the fucking difference. Believe it or not, biceps were my weakest body part. It's true. I could never get a pump on my biceps. I always had big forearms. In fact, I remember the year exactly, and I remember the measurements exactly, and I haven't measured my arms for a very long time. My biceps were 15 inches, and so were my forearms. My forearms were the same thickness as my biceps. And I remember in the gym that I was training in, I got in such a fucking huff. I threw the fucking bar, and I got in the mood. The gym owner come over and asked me what was fucking going on. I told him I just can't get a pump on my fucking biceps. I was really angry about it. So then he showed me the thumbless grip. And he taught me about taking my time. And then he showed me what fatigue is. He showed me what training to failure actually is. So as I was about to put it down, he was like, no, no, no. And then he pushed the bar more into my pelvis, yeah? So as I'm coming down there and just coming down there, and I'm starting getting tired, and I'm like, oh, I want to put it down. He's like, no, 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 hold on to the fucking bar. And then he'll push the bar into my pelvis. What that's doing is that's stretching my biceps even more. And he's like, again, all big fucking arms, lift this. And you're like, ah. But you try doing that with a thumbless grip. All of a sudden, my arms were that fucking pumped after the first set. It was like, fuck. I think they must have grown about 3 inches that day. That was in 2003. So as soon as I realised, you know, how, I suppose, as soon as I learned the different variations of training biceps, and I started practicing with it. Remember, practice makes perfect. Just think about what we call this, what we do. We call it training, right? Yeah. That's all it is, training. We're training ourselves. Training is practicing. We're just doing the same movements day in, day out. That's all we're doing. So in order to understand something, in order to work out what movement works better for you, you've got to fucking practice it. You've got to do it day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out. If you want to be good at something, and you want to push your body to whatever limits you think you may have, then that's what you have to do. And you have to learn. So from then on, whenever I learned something from somebody, just like I learned from him, I would come in the next day and the next week, and then I would do exactly how he showed me, and then I would, I don't know, I'll start doing 21s. Do you know what 21s is? 21s is what we do 7, 7, 7. Then I'll start doing some different variations of partials. Then I'll start doing exactly what he showed me, but I'll start using dumbbells, or I'll start using an arm curl machine. and I start working shit out for myself. You know, what I feel working, what exercise I feel works more than something else. And that's how you work out what works best for you. Everybody is different, and that's the beauty of bodybuilding. You can't look like me. I can't look like Lee Priest. You know, my supplements, Mental Hamster, are not going to make you Mr. Olympia. They're not going to make you look like me. But what they will do is they can help you be the best you can be. So we're not trying to sell you a dream. We're not trying to bullshit people. And I suppose over the years of me learning things like that, and then being lucky enough to meet my idols like Lee Priest, like Samir Banu, actually becoming friends with them, and then learning off them as well, we then managed to create something fucking incredible. And now we're able to pass that knowledge on, which is fucking super cool. I mean, look at that fat cunt over there. Right? He's not only, what, the ugliest fucking person you've ever met in your life, he's got the shittest sense of humour you've ever fucking heard from somebody in your life. You agree with this, don't you, Josh?
Yeah.
He's, well, I suppose his physique ain't dog shit anymore, it's getting better. But look how far he's now come. You know, everything that I'm showing you guys, he's been around me, right? He's like my fucking right-hand man. So he's learned everything that I've learned off of Lee. And when Lee's over here and Samir's over here, he's now learning too. So now Billy has his own little path where he gets to PT people, you know, in the gym. We don't have people PTing in here, right? Because it will conflict with what we do, because we have certain ways of doing it. I say I'm the best at something, and there's a fucking reason why. I'll be a hypocrite if I start letting other PTs work with their methods and their ways, and I'm doing videos saying I don't agree with a standard PT on how they train, right? I like to explain to people and show people how they can make such a transformation, build a physique, you know, get stronger. And Billy started to do that as well. So to be able to pass this knowledge on, whether it be with Billy, whether it be with yourself, Josh, whether it be with the viewers that follow us, it's an incredible feeling. Right, I've got to get ready. I've got a pack. Talking about Mental Hamster, we happen to be in stock, mentalhamster.com, which Biggles is repping a t-shirt. Check that.
I'm a bit embarrassed because I let myself go, so I don't.
You have let yourself go. You look a fucking.
I'm back. I'm
mess.
coming back. I'm having a comeback.
I'm done. Alpha training, people.